Hello and welcome, and now we are going to learn arrays in Ruby. This is going to be very easy and very interesting. So I will go and first create a new file. I will create a new file here and call this as arrays.rb, and in the main.rb file I will call this file arrays.rb. Now here in Ruby I can create an array. I will give any name, let us say my array 1, and here I can say equals to this. So this is an empty array. If I try to print this, I will say my array 1. Let us see the output. So here you will see there is and this is an empty array. I can also say my array 2 equals to, here I can give some data. So this is now an array that has some data. I can now say here, let me just directly use this. I can directly say puts here, puts, and here as well. So here you will see when I run this, it is printing 1 2 3 4 for array second. I can also just say print so that it prints in the same line, and I will run this, and here you will see this is printing the array. Now the other way of creating an array is I can just say here, I can say my array 3 equals Array.new. This is another way of creating an empty array, and if you want to create an array with some size, I can create a variable, let us say my array 4, and I can say Array.new, and I can give some size here, let us say 10. So if I try to check the size, I will say puts my array 3 dot size, or I can also say puts my array 3 dot length, both will work. And if I say puts my array 4 dot size, let us see the output now. If I run this, you will see the size. This array, my array 3, is of 0 size because we have not given any data and not given any size, and my array 4 is of size 10. So we can add 10 elements in this array. Now if I want, I can also create an array for alphabets. Let us say I create a variable alphabets, and I say array, and here I say it should start from A and go up to Z, and if I now print alphabets, let us see the output. So you can see it is printing all the alphabets ABC. I can use print here so that I can see all here. Now you can see it is printing everything. If it is not printing Z, if I just give 2 dots, it will print Z as well. Let me run this and check, and yes, it is now printing A to Z. So this is how you can create array. Now once you have created an array, you can do a lot of operations. Let us say I have this array, or let me just create an array. I will say array 1 equals 1 2 3 4 5. I have 5 elements in this array. Now if I have to access any element, I can say array, and in the index I can give the index value. If I run this, so it will print here, it is printing 3, and it is printing here because earlier we had used print. I will use put so that it goes to the next line, and I will run again, and here you can see it is printing 3, which is at index position 2. So index position starts from 0, 1 and 2, so it is printing 3 here. I can say puts array, and then I can also say 0 and until 2. If I run this, here you can see it is printing 1 and 2, or I can say puts, and the array name I can say 0, and I can give the range, let us say 4. If I run this, it is printing up to index position 4. I will just say print here, so it prints in the same line, and now I will run again and see it is printing everything. Now with Ruby, suppose I go out of index, suppose I give 8 here, which is actually out of index, and I try to run, you can see it is not giving any error. It will just go until the size of the array it has and will print that. So you can use like that. And I can also say here array, I can give a negative value, so this will start from the end. If I run this, let me say puts here, and I will run again. So here you can see it is printing 4, which is at the second position from the end. So you can use these things and use all these ways. Now I can also use a lot of other functions and operations with array. So I have written some operations here. I can use .add to access element at a particular index. I can say .add and I can give the index value, let us say 3, and if I run this, it will access the element at index position 3, which is 4, and it is printing it here. The next thing I can do is I can use .fetch, and this can be used to provide a default error message if your array is out of index. For example, I say array1 dot fetch, and if I give something which is out of index, let us say 8, and now if I run this, you will see the default message that this is out of index or outside of array bounds. So you can use fetch if you want to get this out of index or out of bounds messages. And then I can say here I can access first and last element using .first and .last. I can just say puts Array.first, or I can say Array.last, and if I run this now, you will see it is printing the first element, which is 1, and the last, which is 5. So this is working fine. Now I can use take, and this returns the first n elements of an array. For example, if I say puts and array.take and I say 3 here and run this, so you will see it is printing first 3 elements. Let me replace puts with print, so it prints in the same line, and you can see it is printing these first 3 elements. Then I can say push to add item at the end, or I can also use this operator to add the items at the end of the array. So I can say array name dot push, and I can just say 6 here, or I can say again dot, here I can say I can give this, and I can say I can give some element, let us say 7, and let me now run this. I should use print here and here as well. I will use print and I will run this, and let us see the output. So you can see it has added 6 and now it has added 7 to the end of the array. Then I can also use unshift function to add at the start of the array. For example, I can say here Array.unshift, and now I can add the element, and let me just run this now and show you. So this has added 0 at the start of the array. And then we can use insert to add at a specific location. I can say Array.insert, and now I can give the index position, let us say 3, and I give some value here. Let us say I say this as 4.5. Now if I run this, let us see the output. So you will see here at index position 3 it has added 4.5. Let me say index position 4 and run this again. So now you can see it has added at index position 4 4.5. So you can do like this. You can use the insert operator. Now if you have to drop or delete elements, you can use drop. It will return all the elements after n elements have been dropped. So for example, I will say here print array.drop and I say 2 here. So let us see the output. I will run this. So you will see here, let me stop and clear the console. Sometimes if the console is very heavy, it takes some time to run. So I will run it again, and now let us see here, or let me just stop it. Yeah, so you can see it actually ran. I will run it again to show you again. Yes, you can see here it has dropped the first 2 elements and then return the rest of the array. So you can use drop like this, and then you can say pop, it will remove from the end. If I say Array.pop. Now if I run this, you will see that it has removed this element from the array. So here, if I now print my array again, I will say print array. So you will see the difference here. You can see now it has popped 7 and we have got the rest of the array. Then I can also say here shift, and this will remove from the start. So if I say print array dot shift, and then I will again print my array, and I will run this and check. So you can see it has first removed 0 and now we are getting this array. So this is how you can use the shift operator or the shift function. Then we can delete a particular item or an object using delete function. I can say here Array.delete, and let us say I say 5 here, and then I will print my array. So I will run this and check, and you will see it has removed 5. It has removed 5, and then you can see the array after removing the element 5. Then I can say Array.uniq. This will remove any duplicate items from the array. So let us say I will just add something. I will use this function. I will say puts, and then I will say print array insert, and I will add 3 at position 3, or let me add at position 2, and then I will print my array. And if I check now, there is a issue. Okay, I will say here, now if I run, there is some issue. There is array1.insert. It's a syntax error. Let me very quickly check. I should be using this. I will just change this and check again. And yes, now it is running. And here you can see now I have 2 4s here. Now if I now say here I will say Array.uniq, and I will now run it again and check. So this time you will see it has removed 4 from the array because it was 2 times, and it is giving us a unique array after removing the duplicate items. So these are all the operations and methods you can use with array. Now for the exercise, create a Ruby program and practice all array operations. So I hope you will do this exercise, and I will meet you in the next session. Thank you for watching.